The Trump stuff going through at the moment is not just about trade, but it's also about international relations. And the tariffs, this constitutional balance, the economic uncertainty, the increasingly perilous dance between executive overreach and judicial restraint, and Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs, which yesterday looked as if they'd been seriously compromised today on appeal, look as if they've been given a last breath of life. But this sweeping, erratic tax on imports from nearly every corner of the globe, now temporarily reinstated by a federal appeals court, despite being declared unlawful just a day earlier. The real problem is the damage these tariffs are doing to international trade, international relations, and to the role of America in the world. On Wednesday, the United States Court of International Trade ruled unequivocally that President Trump had overstepped his authority, invoking the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977, or IEEPA, which Trump had attempted to justify through which Trump had attempted to justify his universal 10% tariff, with steeper rates on select nations such as China, Canada, and Mexico. The court declared this use of that act was unconstitutional, saying bluntly an unlimited delegation of tariff authority would constitute an improper abdication of legislative power. And the ruling was historic. For the first time, a federal court has drawn a line through Trump's favourite trade weapon. But before the ink was dry, the Trump administration appealed it, and by Thursday the Federal Circuit had granted a stay, allowing tariffs to continue while the appeal unfolds. Thus, the chaos is prolonged. Now, what are the consequences? First, uncertainty. Businesses on both sides of the Atlantic are reeling. Over $34 billion in trade losses have already been clocked, with car makers, electronics firms, and agricultural producers caught in the crossfire. In Windsor, Ontario, layoffs have begun. In Michigan, engine plants are idling. The North American supply chain, a marvel of 21st century integration, is being unpicked by 20th century nationalism. Secondly, consumer prices. The original intention behind the IEEPA was to enable targeted economic sanctions, not sweeping import taxes. And Trump's creative reinterpretation has turned a Cold War relic into a hot mess, raising prices on everything from smartphones to sneakers. Legally, this is high constitutional drama. IEEPA was meant to limit emergency powers, not provide carte blanche to bypass Congress. Trump's defenders cry judicial tyranny, while his opponents accuse him of executive vandalism. But perhaps the most galling element is the symbolism, Trump claiming to defend America while bypassing its democratic institutions. The trade court's 3-judge panel included one Trump appointee, a detail which rather undercuts accusations of partisanship, and their ruling is grounded in constitutional orthodoxy. Tariffs, like taxes, are a legislative prerogative. They must now defend this before the Supreme Court suggests not the strength of the executive branch, but its desperation. Globally, allies are jittery. Canada, which bore the brunt of the fentanyl excuse, welcomes the lower court ruling but remains cautious. The EU, China, and Japan are negotiating trade deals with one eye on the courtroom. Tariffs are not just taxes, they are diplomatic signals. Trump's unpredictability, threatening levies one day, pausing them the next, has made the US an unreliable partner, and the damage is not merely economic, it's reputational. So, Trump's team is banking on the Supreme Court, but legal experts, including former Justice Gorsuch Clarks, argue convincingly the IEEPA does not permit a tariff blitzkrieg. Congress, meanwhile, dithers. A joint resolution could have ended this months ago, but political cowardice prevails. In the end, the courts are holding the line where Congress will not. But until the Supreme Court rules, the world must navigate a trade policy dictated by tweets and tantrums, not treaties and trust. Trump may have won a stay, but the larger battle is not legal nor economic, it's constitutional. A fight for the soul of American governance, waged one tariff at a time.